Hello, Canada. My name is Andrew Abbas. I'm from Newfoundland and Labrador. And on July 20th of 2014, I filed charges of incitement of genocide against Stephen Harper and John Baird in regards to statements they made both in Israel back in January and the propaganda video that was released on July 16th, the day before the Israeli invasion Operation Protective Edge started. 2 weeks later, those charges were dismissed by the RCMP as governing policy, which is in violation of the Rome Statute that Canada did sign. That argument may stand up in the US that you can have a governing policy that allows genocide, but not in Canada. I filed a formal complaint with the Commission for Public Complaints against the RCMP on the 5th. That was sent out on the 5th of August. That was sent out on the 6th. I've since followed up with the RCMP. They have an investigation which is completed, but during the time that that investigation was ongoing, I also filed a charter challenge on the 19th of December to try to have the criminal code redressed. My issue is that there's certain clauses in the criminal code that are set up to put the Attorney General above the law, which is in violation of the charter. Like the charter demands the supremacy of God and the rule of law. So my issue was that in having the Attorney General above the law, there's no situation where a citizen can ever proceed with genocide charges against the government. Like it's ridiculous. It's like if Adolf Hitler had had that same law at his disposal, he would have just turned to his Attorney General and said, hey, is this legal by our standards, like the genocide that I'm inciting? And the Attorney General would have just said yes. So it's sort of confusing to me. Like these laws were created to prevent these kind of situations from happening, but the way that they're interpreted right now, it leaves a lot of leeway for these kind of abuses to take place. So I filed my charter challenge on the 21st of the 19th of December. The first court hearing was on the 28th. I had until the 2nd of March to file my counter-argument, and then the respondents for the Attorney General had until the 9th, which is today. Now they've filed their countersuit, or counter-arguments, and in them they're basically saying that the argument has no constitutional standing, there's no issue to even discuss. The whole idea of the rule of law as it relates to this is that the system's set up to prevent abuses from taking place, and no oversight is needed. You know, there's no looking into it, just dismiss the whole thing, and they want me to pay for their attorney fees. Now, I filed the charges in this criminal case, or this charter challenge, based on what I saw as my duty and responsibility as a Canadian. I saw somebody abusing our democracy to achieve what I see to be a vile end, and I did what I thought was in the best interest of not only myself, but my friends, my family, and my country to try to have this charter infringement removed, and to try to make Canada a little bit of a better place for other people. I don't have the final date for the second hearing, or the final hearing, or hopefully will be the final hearing, but I will post it when I get it. But anybody who's interested in what's going on in Canadian politics right now, if you're worried about Bill C-51, if you're worried about just our government running roughshod over Canadian rights, inciting Islamophobia, you really have to be more aware. They have no respect for our democracy anymore. They have no respect for the rule of law. They have no respect for Canadians. As far as I can tell, they are a bunch of criminals that realize that they've been caught doing something shady. And before Canada wakes up, before enough people wake up to have something change so we can stop them, they're trying to push as much through so they can protect themselves and make everybody so afraid that nobody's going to be willing to do anything. Even right now, by them trying to seek costs against me as an individual filing my charter challenge, they're trying to make it so other Canadians who are interested in pursuing this kind of legal avenue for dissenting with the government, they're trying to discourage them by saying, like, look, yeah, you can file with the courts. It only really costs you $60 to file, but we'll turn around and sue you for so much money you'll end up bankrupt. Now, before the Harper government, or the Herpes government, came in and changed the system, there used to actually be a program set up that allowed citizens to access money set aside so they could challenge, so they could use the charter to challenge the government issues. But Harper, through budget cuts, has cut that program. And now, instead of the government helping Canadians defend their rights in the court systems, they're actually attacking Canadians. They're using the court system as like a club, a big financial club. So their attorneys can come along and say, oh, you want to dissent? Well, here's $15,000 of legal fees for a document it took me a week to write up. Boom. Now, the judge still has to agree on that, but what kind of statement does that send to Canadians? If your government is willing to just say, okay, we're going to sue any citizen who disagrees with us, so they'll either sue you, they'll find you being a terrorist because you're just dissenting against the government. You know, maybe you've got an environmental platform, maybe you're just dealing with a rights issue, but dissenting with the government is being criminalized. Not only criminalized, but they're going to go after you in whatever way they can. Why? Because they are the criminals. They are the ones who have all the controls and all the power in the system right now, and they're abusing it. And they will do whatever they can to hold off justice for as long as possible. So if you're a Canadian that actually cares about your country, if you care about your fellow Canadians, you really have to be more aware right now. This is a very important time in Canadian politics. This is a very, there will be no other time where there will be no other time that matters as much as these next moments in Canadian history. If we throw away the Charter because people are a little afraid and they let these terrorists that are running our government right now just run roughshod all over our rights, we'll never get them back. We will have to have a civil war. We'll have to have a literal revolution to be able to rectify the problems that they're creating. So unless you want to actually have to go to war against your own countrymen, I really suggest you become more involved in politics. Raise your voice, sign petitions, call your MPs. Just stop being apathetic. That's all I can ask. Stop being apathetic. Start caring more about your country and your fellow Canadians. Thank you.